The USA had more money, more weapons and more troops, so what did they lose the Vietnam War? The answer, the strength of the North Vietnamese and the lack of understanding of the US military. North Vietnam had key geographical, cultural and ideological advantages. Many Vietnamese wanted reunification and saw fighting as a duty, not as an option. Children were trained from a young age and commitment to the cause was total. They had superior knowledge of the terrain, spoke the same languages as the South, and they used this to their advantage. The Viet Cong used guerrilla tactics, hit-and-run attacks, booby traps and ambushes in jungle terrain. These wore down the US forces who were trained for conventional warfare. Meanwhile, China and the USSR poured in over $3 billion in aid and sent hundreds of thousands of troops. The Ho Chi Minh Trail, stretching over 1,000 kilometers, kept the VC supplied despite constant US bombing. And now to the US weaknesses. Many didn't understand Vietnam, its culture, its history or its people. US commanders underestimated the enemy and assumed technological advantages would win the war. But bombing villages and counting body bags didn't win hearts and minds. The US-backed South Vietnam government was deeply unpopular, seen as corrupt and tied to French colonialism. On top of that, US troops were often young, inexperienced and demoralised. Some used drugs, others fragged their own officers. Meanwhile, Congress cut war funding after 1971, and public protests forced Nixon to start withdrawing. The US fought a war they couldn't justify against an enemy they didn't understand on terrain they couldn't control. The US lost quite simply because North Vietnam was stronger where it mattered the most: commitment, tactics and connection to the people. Remember to like, share and follow Revise More History for more GCSE, USA, home and abroad tips.